Boys and girls, long time no see. Welcome to BenchART, I'm for Classic, and welcome to Back 4 Blood. This was the open beta of the previous weekend. This game is developed by Turtle Rock Studios, the same developers of the original Left 4 Dead, and it is using Unreal Engine 4 to power up their game. So this is my recommended settings that I got on the beta. So essentially it is just play the game at 1080p maximum settings, and this is the frame rate that you will get, at least on the first level, without recording. So an average of 110 frames per second and a disappointing minimum of 60. At 1440p the story it is slightly different. At maximum settings I got an average of 75 with minimums of 50, and if you go with the high settings you can expect an experience above 64 with average of 84. If you want to play at 4K, which I don't recommend, at median settings the experience it is something in between the 30 to 60, depending how demanding it is the moments where you are. So my benchmarking pass it was simply the first level, which means that probably more forward into the game it will be more demanding, but my recommended settings for you to play it is to either play at 1080p high or epic and 1440p high settings. And if you don't care about dropping to 50, you can go with 1440p maximum settings, but honestly there isn't too much of a difference in between the high and ultra. I barely noticed any difference, so just select the setting that you care the most. Alright, that's the thing. Well, unfortunately, I think these guys have a lot of work to do regarding optimization, not related with GPU, but more into the CPU side, because for some reason, during some awards or some overviewing moments, I saw my GPU usage dropping below 99%. I have seen moments during awards where my GPU usage dropped to 75, and sometimes even 65%, which means that I was being bottlenecked by something. It can be CPU, it can be memory, speeds, I don't clearly know. But at first I thought that it was the DirectX 11, so I decided to switch to DirectX 12, but unfortunately I haven't seen any improvement in playing the DirectX 12, and as well as I was receiving more stuttering than in DirectX 11, so I still do recommend you to play Back 4 Blood in DirectX 11, but still this is the beta, so until the release they probably will optimize the game further, at least I do hope so. And who knows how better the performance will be during horde moments and stuff like that. I'm a little bit disappointed because, I mean, the hordes are no bigger than Left 4 Dead. And Left 4 Dead is an old game, which sometimes during the horde moments it packed up like 50 zombies or even more. And any CPU could run that with no issues whatsoever. And this game packs mostly the same amount of zombies during the hordes, and I'm seeing a Ryzen 5 from the 3000 generation having issues with that. I mean, the CPU usage it is not going to 100%, that's not really the thing, but possibly this could be, possibly it's not taking advantage of all the cores and threads that it needs to behave properly. I don't know what hell is going on, but they clearly need to optimize a little bit the CPU side of the game. I'm not complaining for myself, because my performance it is overall above 60, and despite there are some drops sometimes below 60 during the hordes, I still do think that the game it is super playable, but I'm more concerned about people with worse CPUs, with less cores and less clock speeds, that might be having performance issues and having issues to sustain 60 frames per second, because this game it is not optimized as it should. But still, I'm not making a full judgment about that, because this is still a beta, and possibly during the release the optimization regarding these issues will be much better. So the talk regarding performance ends here, and this is where I will give a quick highlight what I did think about Back 4 Blood. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about it. Back 4 Blood, since it is developed by the same guys that did develop Left 4 Dead, it is essentially the same game but on steroids. So you have more characters for you to choose from at the beginning, you have more weapons, and you can customize weapons with scopes and, you know, add-ons to the weapons and type of bullets, stuff like that, you know. You have cards that you select each time you start the game. Each card have its own ability or buff or power up that you get to your own character. But essentially, apart from that, the game it is essentially the same. So your objective it is just to traverse one point to another of the map, and that's about it. One of the other big differences that I've noticed is that you have much more tools, much more different weapons, alright? But essentially the melee combat now consumes stamina, alright? So you are not just going to kick, you are not going to hit every zombie with a bat with unlimited stamina. That's not going to happen like it happened in Left 4 Dead. Now the melee consumes stamina, alright? So it's not really as easy as Left 4 Dead when it comes to melee. But overall, I mean, essentially the game it is the same, but it contains tons of new stuff, tons of new weapons, different types of zombies and power-ups. You still include the versus mode from the classic Left 4 Dead, but essentially, like I said, the core gameplay it is the same. Regarding its price, I still think that the game probably it's a little bit expensive comparing to. I think it's an awesome game, but still I do find it possibly a little bit expensive. But since it will be included on Xbox Game Pass, I think it's awesome. So it's if you are subscribed to Xbox Game Pass, it's like an excellent free game for you to take advantage of it when it's released, because for now it was simply on beta. I obviously did enjoy the game since Left 4 Dead 2, for example, it was one of my first cooperative game and I really loved it. So I also love this game. You can really feel that these guys are the same developers, and despite they are using a different engine, it really feels like Left 4 Dead. Aside from the new stuff, as soon as you get observed by the game, you just feel that you are playing Left 4 Dead. For some people, this is good, this is what people were waiting for, but some other people are a little bit more skeptical about this, and they say stuff like, but if it is more or less like Left 4 Dead, I'm just going to play Left 4 Dead since I have it on my Steam account, since it was offered at some point, or it is now cheaper and lighter to run, and I have friends with the game, so I'm just going to play Left 4 Dead instead of buying Back 4 Blood and convincing my friends to buy Back 4 Blood or Xbox Game Pass. So there's really that issue, alright, since the game it is essentially the same. But I think the game will sell well, and since it is included on the Xbox Game Pass, or it will be included on Xbox Game Pass, I think it will be very played by the community, alright? So guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about Back 4 Blood. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the gameplay, and I do hope to see you soon. Thank you a lot for watching. Goodbye.
Don't see anyone's name on it.
I could use that.
SMG here! Shotgun here! You want to let them in?
No sweat. Love what he's done with the place.
Didn't ask you to be here. Best you went. The door's clearly marked. Unless you're buying. Just get what you need and get out. Put the copper where I can see it.
Ain't got time to wait around here all day.
Molotov here! Back to hell, motherfucker!
I'll take this.
Something ain't right.
Grenade here!
Oh, shit! Oh, I'm out of here! Need to reload! That'll wake them up! Hey, busy watching my back. Don't need to be watching yours.
Check your fire!
What the hell are you doing in front of me anyway? Keeping that for me.
Need this.
Bat here! There! Let's go! What the hell, Holly?
Sorry!
You did pass basic training, didn't you, Walker? Keep your hands off me! Looks like you needed some dental work anyway. What are you, God's reader? Whatever you do, don't get it in your eyes.
Need that. Ammo over here.
First aid, Captain. Make sure you're ready to roll when we head out.
Friendly fire!
You okay?
Fine, I'm fine. Just the excitement. That's all.
Shotgun!
Cover me! Molly, light the fire!
Oh, check your fire!
You alright there, hon?
See ya!
Just what I want.
I'll take it.
See that?
What are you doing all the way back there?
Dead end! Anyone near me? What's that? Reloading! Feel that? I feel that and it don't feel good.
Today just ain't our day!
And it's seen me!
Light 'em up!
Need to fix this up.
Whatever happened to just kicking somebody in the nuts?
Oh, nothing, fella! Be on with you! Please just die already! Hell, motherfucker! Further, watch out! That's the way to do it.
Just a little bit further.
Looks like you needed some dental work anyway. They need last mile is always the longest.
AR here.
Christ on a bike!
SMG here. SMG.
Tread carefully.
Assault rifle. Molotov.
Handgun here. Move it. Can't hold up in here forever.
Glad you guys could keep up.